Does size matter? Does your girth affect your work? In this video, I'll lay out the challenges that correctional officers may face based on their build. Did you like that? Did I sound like a professional influencer? This question comes from a gentleman in the process of becoming a correctional officer. He says that he's 6'4", 240 pounds, and wants to know if his size will make the inmates more apt to test him. 6'4", 240, that's a big boy. What do you guys think? What have you seen? Do bigger guys get challenged more? Confronted more? Yes or no? Leave it in the comments below. 6'4", 240, how tall was the Big Boss Man? Do you guys remember the Big Boss Man? He was 6'6", 330. Damn, I'm just a little guy. So here's my 2 cents. I feel like it has more to do with how you carry yourself as an officer as opposed to your size, right? Being confident is different than being cocky. So if you're rude, aggressive, and agitate the inmates for fun, eventually someone is going to try you. And you may be big, but you're probably not physically overpower an entire housing unit big. I knew this guy, this big dude that was in my training class, like a bodybuilder type dude. And he got tested all the time. It seemed like he was always fighting. I think that was because he relied a little bit more on his muscles than he did his mouth. It was like he preferred an altercation over communication. I don't know, I never really asked him. Now he's gone. Moved on to wherever COs go when they move on. So there's that. But let me add this. The challenges won't always come from the inmate side of the fence. Your agency, your peers, may expect you, may use you to do things that the little guys aren't expected to do. For instance, if you're large and in charge, that is competent to run a unit or an area, they may bury ya. You may be coerced, bamboozled, banished to the land of segregation, restricted housing, the shoe, the hole, or if not that, at least one of the more difficult units. And at first you'll wear this like a badge of honor. Look at me, I work segregation. Let me warn you. Some agencies will, well, how can I put this delicately? Overutilize your ability for the good of the facility. That sounded fucking stupid. They'll leave you in there forever. Forget about you. And here's what happens. Some supervisors will see that when you're inside that unit or in that particular area, that they'll have a quiet night. Oh, fuck. I said the Q word. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to work segregation or restricted housing units, but over time, it will change your behavior. You do become a little bit more aggressive than those who get to move around a lot. So don't be afraid to rotate throughout the facility or work different areas. Expand your horizons. Because what I've seen happen is over the years, officers get pigeonholed in there, they get stuck in there, and then eventually they get thrown out of there because they get disciplined for using some sort of unnecessary or excessive force. So be careful. Also, as a bigger officer, you may be used more in force situations. Recruited to do the dirty work because of your stature, your size. Don't be surprised if you're recruited to be the shield guy. And there's nothing wrong with that. Being a part of a special team takes a special officer. And some officers are all in. They love the gig. But some officers are voluntold just because they're big. I've talked to a lot of officers that have been a part of these teams, these extractions, and in the beginning it's really fun, it's super exciting, right? The adrenaline and all that shit, but over years and years and years of doing the same thing, of putting themselves in harm's way more so than maybe the rest of their counterparts, they start to get tired. That fun starts to wear off, and their knees start to hurt when they hit the ground. And then they want to pass the torch. But by then they have a reputation. They've been typecast, stereotyped. Think Michelle Rodriguez, Cameron Diaz, Alec Baldwin, Nicolas Cage. Actually, don't think about Nicolas Cage. You know, we had a debate the other night at work about Nicolas Cage movie. There was an officer that just thought that Nicolas Cage like made the absolute freaking best movies. And, oh, that was really good. I said freaking instead of fucking. But the point is here, we couldn't figure it out. We couldn't find a Nicolas Cage movie really that we would recommend to somebody else to sit down and say, you know, like, this is like the best top 10 movie of all. You know what? Here's the thing. I want to know Nicolas Cage movies, yes or no, is one of his movies, National Treasure, Wicker Man, Gone at 60. Did you know he was in Fast Times at Ridgemont High? I didn't know that. But if one of his movies is in your top 10, let us know in the comments below. Put the recommendation, put the movie, so we can all check it out. BTW, we're going to question your judgment from here to eternity. Lastly, the correctional culture is one that idolizes the strong and shuns those perceived to be weak. Meaning your peers may make assumptions of you based on your size. Meaning if you're big, like Wisconsin Badgers O-line big, they may treat you a little differently than if you were Wisconsin Badger Waterboy big. Do college teams have water boys? Of course they do. They're probably called water persons. Or something like hydration technician. Hey, did you know that an NFL water boy starts out at $53,000 a year? $53,000 a year! That's more than most DOCs are doling out right now. Well, that is demoralizing. I want to wrap up this rant with a quote. A comment from a subscriber, and he says, be humble. You don't have to tell everybody that you're the biggest guy in the room because they already know. So be humble until it's time to humble somebody else. If you like this video, if you found value in this video, straight punch that little like icon. Like, comment, and share this content with anyone and everyone that you think may be interested. Subscribe and click that little bell so you're notified every time I release another video. And if you're looking for more correctional content, head on over to my Facebook page. I'll post a link in the description below so you know where to go. Guns N' Roses sing, sweet child, sweet child of mine. Don't forget to check out my books, When Home Becomes a Housing Unit and The Nothing That Never Happened. Both are available on Amazon, and I'll throw the description in the link. No, backwards. I'll throw the link in the description. Never mind. All right, guys, that's all I got. Until next time, be smart, stay safe, stay sane, and we'll talk soon.
Hey, 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 yeah, hey, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, 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 yeah, let's go.
I read an article one time or listened to a, I don't remember what it was, a documentary or rockumentary. I watched a rockumentary one time on Guns N' Roses, and they talked about how Axl Rose used to just drink straight bourbon, straight whiskey, whatever. I'm sure it was like Jack Daniel or Jim Beam or something. And so it would give his voice that raspiness. I don't know if it's true or not, but if you know Axl Rose and you know if that's true or not, then drop in the contact. Actually, let Axl know that I'd love to talk to him. I loved Appetite for Destruction. It's not on my top. You know what? One of their songs, though, is on my top 10 Guns N' Roses top songs of all time, top 10 songs of all time, is You Could Be Mine from the Terminator 2 soundtrack. Freaking awesome song. Yeah, there's a lot of Guns N' Roses songs that I like, but that one in particular is on my top 10 list. Like, if I was to have a top 10 playlist to play at my memorial service, my wake, then that one would be on there. Yeah, fuck, I don't know. Bye.